Good evening and welcome. Today is September 2nd, 2025. We're in the Marion City Council chambers for the regular Marion City Council meeting. Welcome everybody. Glad to see everyone in attendance tonight. Those that are willingly here and those that have to be here. We're glad you're here anyways. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order and begin with prayer by Father Michael Block from the St. Paul Parish. We'll welcome Father Block up to the microphone here.
Thank you, Mr. McKinley. Let's all please rise. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. Say a word of prayer. Dear God in heaven, we give you thanks for the gift of life this day, for the blessing of the life of each person in this room. And during this beautiful day, we recall how you created all things, how you brought order to the chaos of the world, a foreshadowing of how you would bring new life and peace by taking on our chaos and our death in Jesus and coming victorious on that third day. We pray, Lord, that that same Spirit and that same Word of God incarnate would be present here to bring chaos to the order of our lives, to bring peace to our city, our county, our state, and our world. We pray that that Spirit of life and truth would enlighten us, would guide us in your pathways, help us to be good stewards of all that we've received, and to be able to bring Marion to the prosperity you desire for it. Please bless this time of the meeting together. Bless every person here. We ask all these things in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Father Block. And now the pledge by Councilman Whitten. Again, thank you, Father Block from the St. Paul Parish, for coming in tonight and be willing to take time out of your evening to say the prayer before the meeting. All right, move into roll call. Madam Deputy Clerk.
Kane.
Here.
Marshall.
Here.
Fordyce.
Here.
Brunner.
Here.
Klein. Here. Devine. Here. Whitten.
Here.
Cowgill.
Here.
McKinley.
Here. All right, moving into the community spotlight. We have U-Save Auto Rental and U-Haul. We're going to invite the whole crew on up. I already warned them to come on up here. So as they're coming up, we've got Wayne, Algene, Adam, Carly. They're all Westgates. Jamie Westgate and Kim Dunn. So they are all part of U-Save Auto, whether it's through ownership, management, operations, the whole team. So I just want to say I just absolutely love everybody behind me here. They are fantastic. If you didn't know that U-Save existed in Marion, I hope you know now. Most people think rental cars. They think the big chains, the big name brands. But we actually have a locally owned rental car company here in Marion, right off the bypass, right next to Aldi, actually. And it's U-Save Auto Rental. Not only do they rent cars, but they rent U-Hauls. Some people actually think that it's just U-Hauls, right, out front. But I have to tell them, no, they rent cars, and they rent really nice ones, brand new ones. And they are just a real gem, locally owned, grown up, most of them grown up and raised around here. And they're a true asset to Marion. They offer affordable, reliable transportation that supports residents, businesses, and visitors. And their service strengthens community access, promotes convenience, and contributes to local economic growth and development every day. So they have been in business how long?
Almost 20 years.
Almost 20 years. And so tell me, what made you get into this business?
I always wanted to have a business with my son, and the opportunity came up, and we just said, hey, we're going to do it. And I was working full-time for the Kroger Corporation. Adam was working also, and I was not able to put a lot of time into it at that time, but since then I have retired. Adam is a engineer, mechanical engineer, and he is busy with his family. He has 6 children, so he's busy, and we've really made it a good business for the family and stuff, and the community of Marion. So we enjoy very much to work with everybody. So it's been really a great little business. So, and we appreciate, if you rent it from us, we appreciate and the support that you've given us.
Yeah, they rent out not just passenger vehicles, but the passenger vans. If you're taking a trip down to Florida or wherever, you can get those 15 passenger vans, U-Hauls, trailers. You think they have it, and they're all new cars. I mean, they always have really nice cars. Kim, what is your title there, Kim?
I'm the manager.
Okay.
So I'm usually the face
Pretty much,
of it, every day, so.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in my private sector job, we work with Kim all the time, and just a joy to work with and work for, or not for, but they just do a great job. And I probably should have had you guys on sooner because, I really like to highlight businesses that really give back to the community, that are great for our community. I mean, the building they're in now used to be kind of a ran down, old, abandoned, basically, auto repair shop, but now it looks beautiful and it's nice and they maintain it. So, but anyway, so they're at 1871 Southwestern Avenue, again, right next to Aldi or in front of that pet store, Art in Motion. So please, if you need a rental car, U-Haul, anything, please give them a call, support local. We always appreciate that. So anything you'd like to share? Anyone that's up here want to say anything?
We appreciate all the support. Like Dad said, if you haven't had a chance to rent from us in the future, if there's something that we can help you out with, please stop by. We'll do our best to take care of you. Our goal is to make you feel welcome when you come in and to get you in and out quickly. We know everybody's time is important, so when you come in, we're going to get you into your vehicle quickly and on your way. And like you said, we're going to make sure it's a safe vehicle for you to get on the road with.
Yeah, and the rates are extremely competitive, but also if you're getting work done at a body shop, pretty much anywhere around here, they will bring the car there and have it ready to go, so you don't have to worry about getting a ride over there. So they will drop cars off at body shops and probably your own home. Yeah, they go above and beyond more than you would expect. But USAVE actually is a chain name, right?
is,
You
yeah.
buy, it's kind of not a franchise, but kind of is?
yeah.
Okay.
It is. Yeah.
So there are USAVEs all over the country, but it's just more of kind of a locally owned type operation. So anyways, so we appreciate you all coming in, and let's get a photo if all the council members want to come up. Unless you want to say anything else. Kim, do you want to say anything?
Yeah.
You look like you wanted to say a few things. All right, come on up. The council members, you guys stay behind here. Yeah, we have enough of this. I vote for just trash. Used to my Deloitte. Gotcha.
Good?
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right. Hey, here we go. Thanks so much. Appreciate you guys coming in. My pleasure. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Good seeing you. I was almost mentioned when you came to the office first time. I was. Gotcha. Oh. Okay. All right, moving into the city employee spotlight. Caleb, where are you? There you are. Come on up, Caleb. So we are spotlighting Caleb Day from Animal Care and Control. And so while he's on his way up, so I asked the Animal Care Control Manager, Brittany Shrout, she's in attendance as well. I said, hey, come on, get a little closer. We want you in the camera here. I don't bite, but he does, so don't get too close to him. Anyway, so I'd asked Brittany, what would you think of Caleb? What would you say if you could? And so this is what she gave me. She said, Caleb Day is a true team player and a pleasure to work with. He approaches every task with professionalism and a positive attitude, always willing to step in and help wherever he's needed. Caleb's kindness and respect toward the people in our community have not gone unnoticed. I, Brittany Shrout, his manager, have received multiple compliments about his outstanding character and dedication. We're grateful to have Caleb on our team. So those are some pretty high words of praise, Caleb. And your position, animal care control, is probably not one for everybody, right? So you're dealing with the nice little kittens to some of the more aggressive animals, and not just people's animals and like their pet animals. Like you have to kind of handle if somebody's alligator gets loose or, I'm just kidding, but no, seriously, you got to handle all sorts of animals, whether it's somebody's pet or not. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So Caleb, how long have you been with the city now?
I've been with the city for 4 years.
4 years, okay. And so you plan on doing another 20, 25?
I'll go as long as I can.
Okay, good deal. Tell me, what's one of your favorite things about being in animal care?
Probably just working with animals in general.
Okay.
I worked restaurants my whole life until I stumbled upon this job, so it's
Okay.
change in scenery, but it's a good one.
Good, good. So how did you stumble upon this job?
I was looking through Indeed.
Okay.
It might not have been Indeed. I seen a Facebook post.
Okay.
I just applied.
Good. So you came from the restaurant industry, right? So let's just so anyone listening or watching at home that's like looking for a job, the city's always hiring. So and we're looking for great people like Caleb and wanting to switch up the career and kind of get out of that the food industry. So Caleb, would you like to share anything at all? Nope. Okay. That's all. I never don't want to give the opportunity, but it's not for everybody, that's for sure. So anyways, we just thank you so much, Caleb, for your 4 years of service to Marion. We hope you continue. We know it's probably a challenging job sometimes and different types of weather. And when you're dealing with people's pets, there's a lot of emotion that go into it, as you probably know. And you have to be very, very delicate on handling and communicating. So we just appreciate you doing that. And clearly, with all the compliments that Brittany's gotten, that you're doing a fantastic job with that. So let's give Caleb a hand. Thank you.
Nick?
All right, let's get a picture with Caleb real quick.
I would like to remind you, 2 meetings ago, I gave some compliments to the animal control, and this was the young man that I dealt with. So without you even knowing it, someone was saying good things about you. Just earlier that day. So yeah, I'm pleased to see you here today.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I remember you telling me that, but I didn't realize it was him. So that's perfect timing then.
You gotta get up front, man. Front of everybody. This one's a little different.
Squeeze in there. Well, don't.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right. Thanks so much, Caleb. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank you, Brittany, for those kind words and for being a great manager, too. Lots of good things going on in animal care control, and props to the mayor for making it a priority as well and allowing us to invest in that. That's an asset to our community for sure. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda for the approval of minutes, regular meeting August 19th. Consideration of pre-approved claims and consideration of claims. Is there any questions or discussions? Or are there any questions or discussions? If not, I entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I move that we pass the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Kane to pass the consent agenda, a second by Councilman Cowgill. Any other discussion? Madam Deputy Clerk, roll call.
Kane,
Aye.
Marshall,
Aye.
Fordyce,
Aye.
Brunner,
Aye.
Klein,
Yes.
Devine,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Cowgill,
Aye.
McKinley.
Yes. Moving on to committee reports. Do we have any committee or liaison reports this evening? Okay. Wow. All right. None for this evening? All right. We will move on. Okay, we'll move, there's no unfinished business. And in fact, actually, I forgot to do one thing, and we'll do it before we get into the business. And so I've forgotten twice now. So I sent an email out last week after the agenda was put out by our deputy clerk. The mayor had asked me, and I told him I would, to add an item to the agenda. Basically, just to get an update from Mark and Tom from ReElement. They just want to give us an update to the whole council of what's going on there. There's no vote, there's no decision to be made. It's just a presentation to give us an update on what's happening over there. So I considered whether I just want to put that under announcements, but I thought it's probably better just to ask the council for approval to add that to the agenda under new business. Of course, it would automatically go to the very end. So I would like to request if somebody would make an emotion to add ReElement, Mark and Tom from ReElement, to give an update to the agenda.
I'll move that. What you just said, I'll move.
Second.
All right, I got a move or a motion by Councilman Klein. Too many C's around here, I'm telling you. It's one of those days. Councilman Klein, a second by Councilman Witten. Any discussion? It does require a unanimous vote to add it to the agenda. Just FYI. No discussion? Madam Deputy Clerk, roll call.
Kane.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Fordice.
Aye.
Brunner.
Aye.
Klein. Yes. Devine. Yes. Witten.
Yes.
Cowgill.
Aye.
McKinley.
Yes, thank you. We'll add that to the end of new business. So now we're going to officially get into the agenda. Under new business, General Ordinance 18-2025, City of Marion Redevelopment Authority, first reading.
An ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Marion, Indiana, establishing the City of Marion Redevelopment Authority. Indiana Code Section 36-7-14.5 authorizes the Common Council of the City of Marion, Indiana, to create a redevelopment authority in order to pursue the public purposes of the Redevelopment Authority Act, including without limitation, financing local public improvements for lease to the City of Marion Redevelopment Commission, and to issue bonds payable from lease rentals. Speaking, Barnes & Thornburg, LLP.
Thank you. If you could just state your name as well.
Absolutely, Council President McKinley. My name is Dustin Meeks, and I am with the law firm of Barnes & Thornburg in Indianapolis. I'm stepping in for my colleague Chris Kreisel tonight. It's his wedding anniversary, and so in the interest of preserving his marriage, I'm here to introduce the ordinance. So it's a brief ordinance, and again, just introduction tonight. But what the ordinance does is it authorizes the creation of a redevelopment authority for the city under Indiana Code 36-7-14.5. That's a section of the code that was adopted in 1987 in response to an understanding by the General Assembly that while they like our constitutional debt limits, that those debt limits tend to be sort of quite small and generally have the result in limiting cities' abilities to undertake certain projects that may be advantageous for the city. And so what the General Assembly did in 1987 was created a special purpose entity of local government that through a leasing structure is able to allow units of government to finance projects through what we call lease rental revenue bonds, which are not treated as debt for purposes of the constitutional limit, and so give you a little bit of an expansive or a slightly more expansive ability to do financing for public improvement projects. The Redevelopment Authority is a 3-member body, and I always like to call it the Redevelopment Commission's little buddy. We bring it out when the Redevelopment Commission is going to sort of exercise this lease rental revenue bond financing ability to do a financing not using its own direct debt capacity, but it serves no other purpose. So it's a small governing body, but it's also a very special purpose entity. Any time that the Redevelopment Authority would be doing its work, right, so entering into a lease with the Redevelopment Commission to allow it to issue bonds, that whole process is going to be approved by the council. So you would never be in a situation where the Redevelopment Commission and Redevelopment Authority would be engaging in a financing that doesn't come to the council for an explicit approval process. So while this does provide an additional tool in the toolbox, it remains under the sort of same level of oversight as any financing that the city would do, in that it would require the council's approval. I'm happy to, I know that Chris had circulated a brief memorandum that kind of walks through the lease rental revenue bond financing process and the background on the redevelopment authority. I'm happy to answer any questions that the council may have as well.
Thank you so much, Dustin. Appreciate that. I just have a question. Can you, basically what I've seen is about every major city already has one.
Right.
We just don't. We're probably one of the last, right?
When Chris said that he wanted me to draft an ordinance for you guys to establish an RDC, my first question was they don't have one, because every city of Marion size and many cities much smaller. Like I said, this was a tool that the General Assembly put into the toolbox in 1987. It's just not something that has been done here before. But I do RDA, RDC, lease rental revenue bond financings probably 15 times or more a year, and that's just me, one bond lawyer in Indianapolis. So it's a really common tool.
And just for the general public, people watching at home, can you just give us a scenario where having a redevelopment authority would be beneficial or advantageous for us as a city?
Yeah. So, and I hate to. I'm going to start the story and nobody fall asleep. The reason the constitutional debt limit is so low in the state of Indiana is that in 1836, everybody and their brother thought that canals were going to be the next big thing, right? That if we just had enough boats, the economy was really going to hum. And every county in Indiana and every big city and the state sort of leveraged themselves up on debt to finance all kinds of canals. And then in basically 1837, the railroad gets invented. And so suddenly we're all full of debt with canals, and then these railroads are a much better idea. You bankrupt the state one time, and everybody really panics about that. So in 1838, I think, is when they ratify it, there's a new Indiana state constitution. And it has this very restrictive debt limit, which is it's 2% of the assessed value of the unit. And that's actually been statutorily restricted even further. So generally speaking, when you're talking about a unit of government issuing direct debt, so the city issuing debt in its own name or the redevelopment commission issuing debt in its own name, you have a very, very limited capacity to do that. And that capacity is sort of completely unrelated to the amount of revenues that you may have at your disposal that you could use to finance projects. And so the situation that Marion is in, the situation that many communities are in, is that you've done direct debt, and there are more opportunities that are on the horizon, and there is revenue capacity to do additional financings for infrastructure improvements, to attract sort of businesses to the community, or you can also use this for an economic development purpose from time to time. And you have the revenue, it's just there's not adequate debt capacity, because the debt capacity is written in reference to an 1836 canal panic, and not in terms of our sort of modern reality. Now you're asking yourself, why does the General Assembly keep the 1836 canal panic debt limit? They like that the limit is low. They prefer that you have to go through some extra hoops to issue debt. And additionally, changing the Constitution is very, very difficult. So it is sort of something that they have kept in there. But in 1987, recognizing this problem exactly, they created this special entity of state government. So it's not even. Sometimes you do things and you're like, aha, we can use the law this way. But the law is written for exactly this purpose, right? That you have a limited capacity and you may have additional revenues where it could be prudent to do a financing beyond that very limited capacity.
So in layman's term, it's like telling somebody they can't take any loans out more than 2% of their annual income.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you might, right, and they definitely have income, right, above that, but you have this weird artificial limit in place.
Great. I just know as an audience member, I'd be like, well, I don't know what they're talking about. So I always like to explain it a little more simply for everybody. Any council members, questions?
What are the risks associated with establishing an RDA?
So A redevelopment authority does give you, right, additional financing capacity. So there is the ability, right, to do more than that 2% constitutional limit, right? So in terms of our ability to finance additional projects goes up, right? And there's always a risk, right, inherent in just like when you take on a mortgage, right? You take on the risk that you have to pay on that mortgage. But the city has a great municipal advisor. You know, you have good legal talent, right? That's helping to advise, and it is a more complex approval process for those financing than it is for your standard redevelopment commission financing. So there's sort of extra checks and balances on these financings. So insofar as we're allowed to take on additional financing debt, right? That is a risk, but this tool also has some built-in extra checks, and the key is really just like with your finances, you know, that we make good decisions about what our capacity is.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you so much. There's no other questions. There's opportunity for discussion. If not, then I would entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I move that we pass General Ordinance Number 18, 2025 to a second reading and public hearing.
Second.
Motion to pass by Councilman Kane, second by Councilman Brunner. Any discussion? Madam Deputy Clerk, roll call.
Kane.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Fordyce.
Aye.
Brunner.
Aye.
Klein.
Yes.
Devine. Yes. Witten.
Yes.
Cowgill.
Aye.
McKinley.
Yes, General Ordinance 18-2025 will go to a second reading public hearing at the next City Council meeting. Moving on to additional appropriation 14-2025, 2026 budget first reading.
We are pleased to share the 2026 budget for the City of Marion. This budget reflects our continued commitment to the city's mission and long-term goals. Our administration's top priority remains providing excellent community service and showing appreciation for our employees' hard work and dedication. We are pleased to present a balanced budget for 2026 and anticipate maintaining our cash reserve balance. Speaking, Mayor Ronald Morrell.
Good evening, Council. It's an honor to be before you again for the second budget. It's the second time I'm going to do this again. It's a privilege and an honor. All of our team has worked very hard on putting this together. Kudos to them. We had our budget committee meetings, and they were ready, and I think most of them are here tonight to answer any additional questions that may come. I'll do a couple highlights, and then if there's any more detailed questions you would like me to answer, I would gladly go over that. Our total general fund budget is $24.7 million, with police being 8.3, fire being 7.5, and the rest of the general fund being 8.7. Again, one of the things that we would like to highlight, this is a balanced budget. If you look back in history, it's public knowledge, this is only the second year we've had a balanced budget. A couple years before that, it was unbalanced. So we're very, again, our team's done a great job. All credit to them for working so hard on this. We also, with this budget presentation, we still remain at a 45% cash reserve, which those who've been around Marion for a long time or been paying attention, I was confirmed this is the first time we've been able to hold at that since like the late 90s. So we're in a great financial position. And again, to all the hard work that everyone has done, again, thank them so much for the work that they've put in. Each and every one of our department heads and everybody has worked diligently to make sure that this budget is passed and our cash balance remains where it is. So with that, I would entertain any further questions that you have.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Any council members with questions? All right. If there's no questions, I'd take a motion.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that we pass the additional appropriation 14, 2025. It's on to second reading, public hearing.
Second.
Motion to pass additional appropriation 14, 2025 by Councilman Cowgill, a second by Councilman Kane. Any other discussion? Madam Deputy Clerk, roll call.
Kane.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Fordice.
Aye.
Brunner.
Aye.
Klein.
Yes.
Devine.
Yes.
Witten.
Yes.
Cowgill.
Aye.
McKinley.
Yes, additional appropriation 14, 2025. We'll move on to second reading public hearing at the next council meeting. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all to the department heads for coming tonight. All right, moving on. So we're going to get through this pretty quick. We've got this is kind of more of an announcement, the Grant County Public Safety Operations Communications Board. Madam Deputy Clerk, I'll let you read that.
Marion Common Council appointment. Marion Common Council has a vacant position for the Grant County Public Safety Operations Communications Board. The council has an opening to appoint a person to the Central Dispatch Advisory Board due to the resignation of one of its current appointees. This board position has no compensation and is a 4-year appointment. Applicants must live in the city limits. Resumes can be dropped off at the city clerk's office or emailed to councilpresident@cityofmarion.in.gov. Deadline is September 26th at 4 p.m. The appointee will be selected at the council meeting on October 7th.
All right, so a couple things on this. So basically, this is the dispatch, the Central Dispatch Advisory Board, but that's the official title that they have, the Grant County Public Safety Operations Communications Board. So I was made aware by Bob Jackson, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or so, that, so Paul Thompson III was previously the council's appointee to that, and he had resigned last year. I did not know that until Bob brought it to our attention, or my attention. So that seat on the board has been open. The council does get one appointee. The one thing that I'm asking for, and we wouldn't necessarily do this until we would choose the candidate, but previously it was a lifetime appointment. And I'm just not a big fan of lifetime appointments, and it runs into, somebody resigned last year, I didn't even know about it. And so my request is when we end up choosing that candidate, if we just, I don't know if we have to make a motion or anything, or maybe we do, we'll get our attorney's advice on that when that comes. But basically just to make it a 4-year appointment. So I did put that in there, but if anyone's opposed and thinks it should be a lifetime, happy to have that discussion now or whenever we decide on that candidate. So any questions, opinions? Or does everyone concur with the 4-year appointment? Getting a couple head nods. Yeah. And then, so we would just go from, what was it? So we would choose choose the person October 7th as the first meeting, and it would go 4 years, basically starting October 1st. So it's kind of 3 years and a couple days, or 4 years and a couple days short. So anyways, just hope some people apply. We are putting an ad in the newspaper. We'll have the city put it on the city website as well. I'll share it on Facebook, and we'll just try to get the message out there as best we can. Preferably somebody with some kind of public safety experience, whether in dispatch or former police, fire, somebody with some communications or dispatch knowledge would be good, but it's not required. So we're open to anybody. But you do have to live in the city of Marion, in the city limits. So that's the only requirement, and be 18. So please drop your resume off at the city clerk's office or send me the email. Any questions, discussion on that? Okay, awesome. All right, moving on to CF1 form. So this was mailed out in the packet, right? That was mailed, yeah. Remember, I looked at it separately in an email or in the packet. So this one was sent in. It was sent in late, but Mason Village did send it in. It is their last year to request. So I'm not even sure how much of how much they're really going to save on this. It's their last year. Their AV's gone up, so they may not be saving much, if anything at all, but that CF1 form, I did go through Chuck Binkard at the Growth Council, so he did take a look at it, communicate, and said everything looks good on it. There's no issues whatsoever, so. Any questions on that? And it's up to the council to decide, everyone's vote, decide whether to approve it or not, based on whether it was late or not. I mean, we are allowed to approve them even if they're late. So it's gonna be up to you guys. Any questions? Okay, if not, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the attached CF1 form.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Kane to approve the Mason Village CF1 form, a second by Councilman Klein. Any other discussion? Madam Deputy Clerk, roll call.
Kane.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Fordyce.
Aye.
Brenner.
Aye.
Klein.
Yes.
Devine.
Yes.
Witten.
Yes.
Cowgill.
Aye.
McKinley.
Yes, CF1 form has been approved. Thank you. Okay, moving to the last item that we added on the agenda, re-element. So Mark and Tom, come on up to the microphone. So for those that aren't aware, so re-element is the one that rehabbed and is occupying the former RCA building. And Mark, Tom, welcome. Thank you for coming and wanting to share some updates with us. First of all, if you could just, for public record in the minutes, share your full name and your title with the company.
Yep. Good to see everyone again. Mark Jensen, Chairman and CEO of Re-Element Technologies.
Tom Save, Strategy and Development.
Great, thank you so much. So the floor is yours, whatever you'd like to share.
Yeah, I'll keep it pretty brief, but thank you all for letting us speak. Sorry, my voice is a little bit raspy, getting over a cold here. Been an exciting time. If you read the news, you can see that President Trump has on many times had to negotiate with China with regards to critical minerals, rare earth elements, part of the trade bill, which ultimately enabled the awareness of what we actually do here at Re-Element Technologies. So Re-Element, we acquired the RCA Thompson building, which most of you are aware of. We've got renovated that. We're installing some final stage fire suppression as we speak, while also working with a lot of members of the Marion community that are training down in our Noblesville facility. So we have about 10 members that we're training to be senior level positions as we start operating here in Marion. Over the last 2 years, it's been pretty much 24/7 working with our different customer base to build the future of what Re-Element can provide. So one thing we're super excited about is essentially rebranding what we're calling our Marion facility. And that's really focusing on the heart of what we're doing there. And that's providing defense materials to some of the largest, actually the largest defense contractors in the United States today. Materials that they once had to source from China, they can now buy from Marion, Indiana. Or will be able to buy from Marion, Indiana, where they're currently buying from our small facility in Noblesville, Indiana, which a number of you have had the opportunity to see. These materials are elements that you read about in the news every day. Germanium, which goes into semiconductors, which goes into every advanced defense application, and as well as auto. Yttrium, which is a product that coats your high heat reactors, so your jet engines, your F-35 fighter jets, enables these engines to operate at super high temperatures that keeps them sustainable and operating. The rare earth magnets, neodymium, praseodymium, dysprosium, are the magnets, the rare earth elements that are needed to actually, the propulsion system goes into the motors to operate a lot of these defense applications, and then the battery materials as well. So lithium, cobalt, nickel, and these various elements. The products we produce are relatively benign, so they're not dangerous materials. They're not in a form that could combust or anything to that nature, but they are produced at ultra high purity. So the largest defense contractors in the world, they came to us because we could produce product at 99.5% purity, upwards of 99.999% purity. That capability did not exist in the United States before we developed this technology in partnership with Purdue University to be able to do it here in the United States. We were just in the White House last week, I think. It was last week or the week before, drawing a little blank on my days. Presenting what we're doing. So not only are we financing this privately, we are also receiving money from the federal government to be able to expand our business, expand our capabilities, and working with our customer base. We are working through, we did receive a tip from Marion that Mayor Morrell helped us get put in place. It's a non-funded TIF, so it didn't provide us capital. We're working with the state right now because they did just pass regulation that kind of mitigates the benefit of that. So hopefully working through that with our council to see how that needs to be modified based on the what has been passed at the state level. Another thing that we'd like to bring to the attention of Marion that could actually provide benefit not only to our region, but also to the community is the federal government is reevaluating their opportunity zones. And currently where we operate where our facility in Marion is, we don't qualify. Now an opportunity zone is private capital finance. It's deeming a territory by the federal government to deem it as an opportunity zone, and this area should qualify. I would ask that City Council look into it for the benefit of Marion to drive private capital into this territory and try to get this area or other areas, not even my area, but just in general, this is a benefit that Marion should get. Marion should push for being an opportunity zone. An opportunity zone enables, and I don't know the specifics of it, so check with your council, see if this is something that you could look at, but it enables and helps incentivize private capital to invest into this community. And I think it would be a big benefit, given the benefits of opportunity zones with EB5 programs and other programs that we're utilizing that would help unlock additional capital, which would unlock additional jobs and taxable income for the community and for the city. We are currently getting close to going on a pretty big hiring spree. We just closed on a financing. We're working on another financing as well with our bank at Cantor Fitzgerald that's doing a really good job for us of helping us capitalize the production lines for the orders that we've signed. The cool thing about our business is these orders aren't short-term. Most of our orders are anywhere from 5 to 10 years in business, refining these various materials from recycled material as well as virgin ores. And a lot of them, there's essentially on the recycled side, there's no waste. So we work with Steel Dynamics up in Fort Wayne to take a lot of the byproducts that we produce out of our process. So we're not throwing a lot of stuff in landfill. We're trying to monetize everything that we touch going out of that process. One thing I would say is as we hire, what I'm super proud of is the individuals that we've hired so far from Marion that we're now training down in our Noblesville facility and operating up here in the renovation side of helping on the fire suppression and everything else to be fully operational, which we need to do immediately, is we started them off with zero experience. They weren't chemical engineers. I think a fair number of them were not college educated. We have trained them to operate our equipment using some of the most advanced technology, especially the most advanced technology in this industry, and they can operate it themselves now. They've had multiple pay raises that they've received as part of their training, as part of their development, and now they'll be the individuals that come back here and train the next group of individuals. We've signed partnerships with Ivy Tech. We've signed a number of other partnerships on the trade school side. Mayor was talking about doing here in the city with the trade schools and different universities. That's awesome. Those are the type of people that we want to work for us, that we can train up, that can learn this skill set, teach them a new skill set, and help them advance within our company or elsewhere as they continue to benefit themselves and benefit this community and put them to work. But we're really proud of that and we're excited about it. Happy to answer any questions, but wanted to give a brief update because there's going to be some pretty cool things that come out. If you follow our company, go to our website, sign up for our newsletter. We think it's going to be a pretty fun next 3 to 6 months with everything that's going to be coming out from what we're doing here, some of the federal government that's supporting us, and some of the bigger financings that we're working on with the federal government as well as private sector to create these jobs here.
Great, thank you so much, Mark. Really appreciate you driving up here, spending time with us this evening. Any council members with questions or? We'll check into that opportunity zones. I thought that they'd closed that a while back, but we'll check into that.
I think
maybe
they just
they reopened it.
Yep.
Okay.
I think they're reevaluating. I don't know the exact time period, but we can send you some information on that.
Sure, that'd be great.
I think it'd be a really good benefit for the area.
Yeah.
It's something that you fight for it. That's something that if you guys fight for it, they evaluate it from the federal level to open that up.
Yeah, great. Appreciate it. Wish the best of luck. So the question is, when is President Trump coming to Marion then?
we're fighting for it. We'll see.
Okay,
I
let
think
us know.
we
There you
have
go.
some pretty interesting stuff taking place within the federal government right now. And they recognize what we do. We had, I was meeting with David Copley. David Copley's direct report to Trump. He's a mineral czar, so what we produce, critical minerals, rare earth elements. He's been tasked with managing that from the federal government perspective, and that's who we were meeting with in DC. We've met with him now 3 times, and we're hoping to get the big guy here.
Sounds great. We really appreciate you guys investing in Marion. Looking forward to seeing any future updates and just watching things grow down there on South Adams Street. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And
All
what I
right.
say is feel free to stop by Noblesville, stop by Marion. Manny, who runs the facility local from Marion, who's managing the Marion operation for now until we get the equipment up here. But you'll see equipment being installed there every week for the next 10 weeks, 20 weeks. Stop by, say hi. You can see the building in a much different light than it was before we took it over, as well as the exterior. I think we got the old office building renovated from the windows perspective. Had no vandalism recently. Probably shouldn't say that. I'm not on wood. So I appreciate what you're doing to help clean up the city too. It's looking beautiful. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for investing in Marion, investing in that building too.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Likewise.
All right. It's an exciting update. Okay, moving on to announcements. Just again, the Amplify Marion, the big music concert, is October 18th and 19th. Please put that in your calendars. And the last citywide cleanup of the year, covering District 6, that's Councilman Kane's district, south side of Marion, September 20th, again, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can drop your stuff off at the city maintenance building off 18. But if you're in District 6, put your stuff curbside, not in the alley. Put it on the curbside where the vehicles drive by, right in front of your house, and the street department can pick things up right there in front of your house. So looking forward to that last one. It's the last opportunity until next spring. Any other announcements from council members? Oh, one last announcement. So I will not be here the second meeting of October, so Vice President Fordyce will have to run that meeting. I will be out of town, so I will not be able to run that meeting. I've been meaning to tell you that. So that's all. No other announcements. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Councilman Cowgill and second by Councilman Kane. Any discussion? Madam Deputy Clerk, roll call.
Kane.
Aye.
Marshall.
Aye.
Fordyce.
Aye.
Brenner.
Aye.
Klein.
Yes.
Devine.
Yes.
Witten. Cowgill.
Aye.
McKinley.
Yes, meeting's adjourned. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming tonight.